Welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will talk about anything and everything that catches our interest and or ire. We stream live every single Monday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing trailers, talking about rumors. We'll be answering and responding to super chats at the end of the show. Baku, have I ever done an intro quite so fluidly? It's almost like I practiced this once before. I don't know.
Did you? Did you like stare at the mirror and just like, hey, welcome to HitPoint, and just
No,
like
no, actually,
No?
I didn't even look at the sheet that I normally use for cheat sheets this time. I don't know, something in the air, man. It just feels like today's going to be a good day, you know,
Today is
despite the
gonna
fact
be a
that it's
great
Monday.
day.
Despite the fact that it's Monday.
Despite the fact that it's Monday,
or rather,
happy.
Yeah, the hardest part of Monday is already done. You know, I'm off of work. Baku, the best part of your Monday is probably done.
No, I still have more homework after this. So
No, I said the best part of your day is probably done because you had a day off today or something,
yes.
right?
Happy President's Day, everybody! For anyone who cared.
Yeah,
I
lucky
think the
you,
only
man.
people who really cared are
Federal employees
don't work today. So for anyone who cared, happy President's Day. Yes, I got a day off. I slept in. I slept.
Decadent.
Oh my god, I slept. I did nothing.
The absolute decadence, man.
Of sleeping is such a luxury to do absolutely nothing. No errands, no work, just sleep. Peaceful, peaceful sleep. And then homework, and then this, and then more homework. But you know, that's fine.
Well, guys, it's good to see you again. We missed you last week due to some, well, it was a bit of a light news. Well, hang on. I used the phrase light news last week, and somebody was like, but what about the Final Fantasy VII demo thing? And it was like, okay, tell you what. It's more like it was very sparse news. Maybe not light, but sparse. So we're probably going to cover a little bit of the stuff that we missed last week, but this week I think we've got some really interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a few little announcements that we're going to get through, but a lot of industry news. Some of it's great, some of it's not so great, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what have you been up to, man?
Slept.
Yeah, just slept. Okay. Well,
no, actually, this past weekend I went to a convention called Katsucon, which is like another like cosplay convention. And you know, like through COVID, we haven't had a lot of these conventions, but they're kind of like picking back up.
Yeah.
Since like maybe last year. So this year I finally went. It was fun catching up with a bunch of cosplay friends and just my general weebdom. I feel like I am being reconnected to a part of me that I have not communicated with for a while. Plus all the drinking. Oh my god, there's so much drinking.
And it's you said Katsucon?
Katsucon, yeah.
As in
Katsucon.
like kind of like katsudon, but or like, you know, like the food katsu.
Kind of. I mean, it's the same. It's the same like sound.
Oh man, do they have cuts? Because that would be. I would like some like pork cuts. But whatever.
I would love some pork cuts.
Is it with a T? Like cuts, or is it cause?
No, it's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled.
Okay.
K-T-S-U. Yeah, but it's just like it's a different word, but you know, it's still the same pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what I've been up to because I've told everybody else about it who I've had a chance to. So basically, over the last week or so, in addition to like working on some other things, because I finished my playthrough of Trails of Cold Steel 4, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
We wrapped up and we're going to be playing through Lufia as soon as I'm done writing my review of Cold Steel 4, before I flush the memory banks and just purge everything I remember about Cold Steel 4. Before that happens, I gotta put pen to paper. So that's something that I did a little bit ago. But all week and last weekend, I've been taking a little bit of a side diversion, a side quest, if you will, to make my own Netflix with blackjack and hookers. I've been working on a Jellyfin server, you know, and
Mhm.
because I'm tired of paying streaming services every month for services that are getting worse and worse. And you know what happened with like a couple weeks ago, Funimation, like things that
Yeah.
people purchased through Funimation are apparently no longer available to them. That
Mhm.
so at that point I'm just like, you know what? Mm, uh I remember the old ways, you know? Yes, I remember the days before Netflix, you know,
Mm.
sailing the seven seas, if you will. I'm not doing it this time though. I've gone legit so far, mostly. I'm sure some of the stuff that I already have in my library may have survived from previous times,
Mhm.
but for the most part, I've been God, I took an old business class machine that I got pretty cheap. It's got an 7th gen Intel Core i5 processor, but it has quick
Ooh,
sync,
okay.
has quick sync in it, which is really important. Uh because it can that version of it can transcode to H.265 and stream that to my TVs, to my smart TVs in my home. So I've been in the process of building that and then putting in Jellyfin, setting up TDAR, which is something that's really fun to compress everything into H.265 format, saving gigs and gigs. I've already saved 200 gigs of space as of this morning, just letting it run overnight, which was pretty awesome. And then yeah, I've been ripping all of my DVDs, all of my anime collection, some of the Blu-rays that I've managed to collect, you know, before I kind of fell out of collecting Blu-rays, but that's been like my big thing this whole like last week is just making my own personal media server and making it awesome, man. I watched more movies in this last like 5 days cuz it has all of my favorites, you know.
Mm.
It's great. I'm never paying for Netflix again.
I have to pay for Netflix because my mother watches Korean drama off of Netflix, and they have
Hmm.
Chinese translations, the subtitles, and she needs those. I'm just like, I'm literally I don't watch Netflix at all. I have the account just so my mother can use it. So I like to think that I'm a pretty good son. I don't care for Netflix. I've watched nothing on it. There are things I can watch on
Mhm.
it. I don't have time to watch anything. My
Yeah,
time
I
is at
guess
such a premium right now.
I was gonna say I didn't mean to flex on you like that, Baku. I did
Oh,
not.
no, 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 absolutely not. No, I'm just sharing the fact that I have nothing on Netflix, so if my mother wasn't using it, I'd cancel it the next day. I
Yeah.
wouldn't need this thing. But yeah, I only kept it so that my mother can use it. Um,
Well,
I must yeah.
$37 a month is a small price to pay to keep your mother happy.
Yeah, actually. Yes, it really is. It's
I
not
know.
bad.
It's
Yeah,
probably not actually $37, but
it's
I
not.
mean, yeah, but it'll get there,
Um
I'm sure.
So, you know how they were doing this thing where they were, like, cracking down on people using, like, sub
Password
accounts and everything?
sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, all that. So, my friend actually has the main account, and then they're like, "Hey, listen, if you give us, like, 11 bucks a month, you can just have, like, your own separate account." I'm like, "Fine, I'll give you, like" I think it's, like, 11 bucks a month, whatever, some dollar amount
Mhm.
that's not significant compared to how much my mother uses it, and she watches this stuff, like, daily. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's she's making the money worth and then some more. So, I'm fine with it. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely encourage your move because man, some of these streaming services are just like there is the cable 2.0. That's what it is. It's cable
Absolutely.
2.0,
I mean, at a
and
certain point, you will be spending more on streaming services than old school cable, and they'll still have ads, you know? So screw them.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't
and
get no
and
more of my money. They had their chance, and now it's time to return to the old ways. Um,
that is why you guys should watch us on YouTube and on Twitch because you know what? It's free.
yeah. Well, I mean, there might be ads.
We are. Oh, yeah,
So,
we're
uh,
free entertainment for the most part.
yeah, yeah,
Ad supported free entertainment.
yeah. So, that's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are ways of getting around that as well, but you
Mhm.
know,
We
if you
won't
like
go
the
there.
show, guys, just you know. Anyways, I was going to move on to some comments that we received last week, because during our last week, some of them came in last week, some of them came in the week before that, most of them
Our
came in the week
last
before.
show,
Yeah,
our
during our
last
last
live,
show,
yeah.
we were talking a little bit about the role of AI and in its production, yeah, its use in production of video games. I had, I've got some doomerism, and here's the thing. I think that it's because I fully understand what AI is mostly capable of,
Mhm.
or at least I thought I was. And then the videos came out. The OpenAI's videos that are now text
Mhm.
generated.
Sora?
Yeah, Sora. Thank you. I
Yeah,
couldn't remember the
OpenAI
name of
Sora, yeah.
it.
Yep.
Of course, I would
I was
forget the Japanese name. So,
I was watching it.
yeah,
I was watching it. I knew.
it's absolutely insane what they can
Mhm.
do already with it. And I was like, oh yeah, in a few years we'll be competing. YouTubers will be competing with AI. No, no, it's yeah, it's less than years away. But anyways, um,
Mhm.
so what I wanted to come back to here is to take a look at some of the comments. There were two really that I pulled out that I wanted to talk about. Um, and it's really just kind of two sides of the same coin. This one came from Akai K7. They said that AI can be huge for RPGs. Think about AI powered NPC characters with endless dialogue. That's all I really had to say, I feel. So,
Mhm.
um, and that's kind of interesting.
Mhm.
But okay, so I can kind of I can see where they're coming from like a certain perspective. For Western style RPGs where you have unlimited freedom, that could be massive. You know,
Mhm.
basically just generating the world around you.
Mhm.
Eventually, that could be really interesting. Um, Especially if you could have like um if they could point you in the way of like certain quests and like tell you why it's important to them personally that you go and do this thing. Like that could be really powerful, right?
Yeah, very powerful. I
But
do have some reservation
yeah,
on that, of course.
of course, because I mean that would also be putting like probably some writers out of work.
Mhm.
That and honestly, I wouldn't care so much if AI was putting people out of work that they like didn't enjoy doing. But it's like putting it's putting people out of work that they find fulfilling. Like how about putting out of work the people who like have to clean toilets so that they can go pursue a career in poetry or something.
Yeah, why
Like that would
can't
be anyways,
yeah.
so that could be interesting for Western style RPGs. I fear though that it wouldn't work super well with Japanese style RPGs because I feel like it would be really easy to go off in red herrings with like AI generated NPCs. Imagine
Mhm.
trying to trigger some event to occur to like move the story along, and then you get caught
Mhm.
up on some person's like personal story, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess this is the art. This is the game now. I'm just talking like
Mhm.
it would be so easy to get sucked into that rabbit hole. So there are definitely pros and cons. I think with a JRPG telling like more of like an existing story, kind of uh, not necessarily like a railroaded story, but a lot of times they are on rails. JRPG
Mhm.
stories. So I wonder if that would really be super useful, and it would also kind of suck to
Mhm.
not have a shared experience anymore with other people. Because
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
a lot of NPCs, like if they just change their dialogue all the time based on like what you do, like there's there's very little that will eventually overlap, and I think in the overwhelming number of possibilities.
Mhm.
So there's that. Um,
Yeah, I my reservation with this comes in multiple parts. There's just a lot to unpack, right?
oh
So,
yeah, it's
and
huge.
yeah, and Akia K, very uh, uh you know intelligently, I want to say, mention that, hey, this is what happens when you have new technology. People lose jobs. It's true. And I've said that, in the past, especially for someone who has like an economics background, like it's just unavoidable. Like this is a thing that happens.
Hmm.
Um, and then the example that we like to give all the time is, there are people who used to light like oil lamps on the streets in the
Mhm.
cities, and when we have electricity and like in the grid, and fluorescent light just like lights the way, what happens to these people who light these lamps? Well, they are out of work, right? When cars become a thing, people who drive horse carriages, well, they're out of work, right, for the most
Mhm.
part, other than novelty, of course. But like, that's not a main kind of transportation, right? And it creates new jobs, right? So that's how
Well,
we
it
like
doesn't always
to
create new jobs, because like,
um
when
mhm.
so, I mean, there are some okay, it might create jobs, but not for those same people.
Yeah,
Like
no, yeah,
the oil lamp lighter guys didn't go start a, you know, a career path in,
didn't
like,
become like an
house fire
electrician.
lighting. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they didn't become electricians, they just stopped existing.
I think what we mean to say is that society, like, there's a net plus of jobs, like
Or
there's
at
a
least
net gain,
there
or
always
at
has
least,
been.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or net replacement of jobs, like with AI, it's a little different. Like from a econ standpoint, from AI is a little different. We don't think that it's going to be a net replacement. I think we think that it's going to be a net loss of jobs. It's an entire society. Never mind the people you're replacing and displacing.
Mhm.
We're not even going there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's we expecting a net loss of jobs. So that's one thing. So, like, and again, I want to like unpack each of the things because it's all like wrapped up. Another thing that's different about this is these are creative jobs, right?
These are
It's
jobs people like.
Yeah, these are jobs people like. This
These
is
are jobs
not
people
like
fight for. Oh my god,
right.
they fight tooth and nail for these jobs.
Yeah, and so if we're okay with replacing writers, then are we okay with replacing artists? Like, what's the
Oh yeah.
difference? Like,
I feel like most people probably are.
yeah,
Honestly, I
like,
feel
where do
like
you draw the line?
oh,
Like,
there
oh no, people up in
mhm.
arm about replacing artists. Like, oh no,
Some
no to
people.
AI art. Yo, some people like no
So
to AI art. It's like, yeah, but
artists are
writers are
very against
artists.
it. Artists are very much against it. I feel like the layperson is honestly I feel like the world has gotten a little hostile towards artists over the last few years.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's
they Yeah, they did mention that AI will probably not replace creativity for now. Yes, it's probably the
oh
case.
yeah, it'll
Give
probably
it
be a
another
tool for
10
now.
years.
Mhm.
Hey, give it another 10 years and you come back and tell me that it's not replacing creativity. Like, I would caution against that. That I feel like that's a short-sighted, like, view. Like,
Mhm.
you okay with this? Give it 10 years. I guarantee you, it will replace creativity for sure, right? We're already seeing that now in art, right?
I
It
mean,
is replacing
so
creativity.
let me tell you right now, seriously, I I am already seeing an industry. God, with the release of whenever Sora becomes available to everybody, there is an industry of
Mhm.
people who make B-roll that is going to vanish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's the floor falling right out from under somebody, and that doesn't add any new jobs to, like, the total number of jobs out there. That's just, like that's a that's a whole swath of people who are like, "Oh, all of the skills that I've honed over the last decade or 2 of my life are no longer marketable because now people can just type in what they want."
Yeah.
Wow. It doesn't even
I
require that you have a lens or a camera, no costs. It's
Mhm.
just, whatever the subscription's gonna cost for OpenAI. And I'm sure that that's something that large corporations are more than happy to foot the bill for.
And just to be clear, like, I'm not advising against an advancement of technology. We just have to be wary of, like, what happens
Yeah.
when it
Yeah, there's
does.
nothing you can do
The
about it. I'm
Yeah,
just trying not to
yeah.
celebrate it
No,
too much.
no one can stop this. This is
Yeah.
just a thing that will happen, just like internet is
It
a
is
thing that
inevitable.
happened. Yeah,
Um
it's, you know, um
So here's another comment that is on the same subject, but I wanted to also throw in here, and it's from
okay.
Anika, who says AI certainly has potential, and I wouldn't even be against it. I don't even think paying for it is necessarily the problem, but simply that many tools used by artists that never agreed to be included in these tools. If,
Mhm.
say, Square says, okay, let's get some AI based art, and all of this concept art that we have created is used as like the basis. No problem with that. But the problem that they're seeing here is that big companies would rather pay for services like Midjourney, which take art as a starting point that they didn't get permission for,
Yeah.
to avoid having to actually pay anybody to come up with anything. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I could see that. If I, uh, we'll see how that goes, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I don't think that these lawsuits that are currently tackling these sort of things are going to really have uh any impact on the speed at which Midjourney or OpenAI are. Like at this point, I feel like they're pretty much gonna keep on making money and making things, and at a certain point, even if you are fined substantially, these companies are going to be making billions. That's just the
Yeah.
cost of doing business,
Yeah.
you
I had to
know?
explain that to someone the other day. They're just like, yeah, well, Square Enix got slapped with $10 million fine. They better be careful. And I'm like, what do you mean they better be careful? This is just part of doing business. They're not careful about anything. They'll
Yeah,
pay it again if they have to. What do you mean? They're
yeah,
like, yeah, well, it's gonna add up over time. Yes, so is their revenue. So
yeah.
like it's
To put it
in
another way, like
yeah,
a
it's
person
in
who
their
makes
accounting.
a millionaire can park wherever they want. Sure, they might get a $250 parking ticket, but that just means it costs them $250 to park there.
Yeah.
It's and that's all I'm going to say about that, I guess, is
Yeah.
it's but okay, we have man, we could go down this rabbit hole forever.
We absolutely can.
But
I'm
I'm going to pull
sorry.
us away from it in order
Mhm.
to respond to a voicemail that we got. So let me update our section here because there we go. If you have a voicemail that you would like to leave for us, then
Mhm.
you may do so at 785-337-3805. And we got this one from Rosdums here. Let's see what they have to ask.
Hi, SuperDerek and Baku-san. Rustam from Watertown, Massachusetts again. I just got done getting all the achievements for Callan's Curse Lost Reports and finishing the demo for Toho Artificial Dream in Arcadia. Two great first-person dungeon-crawling RPGs that I recommend giving a shot. I know Baku can't because motion sickness, but what can you do? And now I'm currently playing through Yakuza Dead Souls and enjoying that. My question would be, would you want to see more big developers spread out across the country in other cities like New Bedford, Mass, or Lincoln, Nebraska, instead of Los Angeles or Montreal? Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for that call, man.
Thank you.
So yeah, some interesting games though. I looked into them a
Mhm.
little bit. But the question is, would we be interested in seeing game development studios based out of smaller towns and across the states, instead of like the
Mm.
larger creative hubs that we tend to see them coming out of?
Mhm.
I don't know, man. What do you think? I don't have any strong like so here's the thing.
Mhm.
I feel like moving to a larger city to like work at another studio in a lot of ways is like the bonus.
Mhm.
As somebody who used to live in Omaha, Nebraska, moving away from like Lincoln, Nebraska, to somewhere like Seattle is a significant upgrade in many, many
Mhm.
ways. Sorry to all my
Yeah.
fellow, Midwesterners. Um, but speaking from experience,
Mhm.
but I do think that it would be really nice if location wasn't the barrier to entry that it appears to be so often. Um,
Mm.
because that was actually a huge part when I went to college. I went to
Mhm.
college for video game design. Ask
Mm.
ask me later how that came out. But I was here in Kansas when I did it.
Mhm.
So when I was done going to college, I looked around for video game design jobs. Guess what I
Mhm.
found?
Mm.
I found
Yeah.
minimum wage jobs that
Mm.
couldn't move me anywhere. So yeah, you know, if there were more studios in small towns, or if that wasn't a barrier at the
Mhm.
time, maybe Super Derek would be a little bit different than he is today. Maybe I'd be, you know, I don't know, doing something a little different than commenting from the sidelines, but unfortunately that's not how things happened. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's my perspective. Is it would be really nice, but I think it's going to be really hard to incentivize studios to be anywhere else besides where all of the creative people kind of tend to gather on their own. These spaces kind of have a gravity about them. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So what are you thinking, man?
Yeah. I just don't think it makes any sense to move a studio to like a smaller town. I don't see it.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah.
and now if you're like a major company, and I mean major tech company, that wants to start like a local um like data hub or something, and
Yeah.
try
If
to
you
bring some
are.
tech jobs there and get some like, what is it called? Like get some tax cut or whatever. Like I can see that.
Mhm.
But like as a studio,
Yeah, if
you
you're
you
like
you
Microsoft and you want to start up your own Redmond, Washington kind of situation,
yeah.
or
They're
or
highly
Bellevue.
doubtful. There
Yeah.
there just wouldn't be any benefit to the company in doing so. I can see tax cuts, but then you have to spend more money recruiting talents who are willing to relocate to a small town, which for a lot of the people are not going to be as um is not going to be as attractive. They'd rather live near the suburbs where they don't have to deal with big city traffic, but still have the convenience and all the nice luxury choices of just like even just eating out, like
Hmm.
restaurants and entertainments and stuff. Like that's the reason why people gather around cities and the suburbs around the cities, is because all the things and all the human creative endeavors are in that sort of social center.
Yeah.
And to
You
move
have a
away to
you have a
that,
built-in
yeah,
talent pool to draw from when you
yeah,
create a studio in a large city. Like just by
exactly.
by sheer access to people within driving distance.
Exactly. And but you move away from that, you have the opposite problem. You have to convince people to go there.
Hmm.
And if you're telling me, well, actually, they don't even need to go in, it's just all remote, then why do it in a small city? Do it in
Yep.
Delaware.
Exactly.
Like, just have a shell company in Delaware. I don't need to do anything. Th-
Can I
so
be a shell
yeah,
company in Delaware?
you absolutely can.
All right.
I had a couple of companies in Delaware in the past, so yes,
All
you
right.
can absolutely do it. But
Well,
yeah, but the point being, I just don't see an incentive in
yeah.
moving that business like deal. So
Yeah.
unless I'm overseeing something,
Yeah, at this point, technology has kind of made it possible to be able to be a creative in a small town via remote work. But I think at a certain point, you're going to hit a ceiling, and you're going to need to move where the jobs are to really ascend through the various echelons until you get replaced by AI. So um, that's about it for the voicemails and questions from last week that I really wanted to cover. So now it's time to talk about some of the updates that we got to previous releases.
yes. Okay. So, man, this is quite big. So, one of the biggest sleeper 2D RPGs, Astlibra. I can never pronounce this
I
thing
know. It feels like there should
correct.
be another syllable in there somewhere.
Yes, like after the T, right? Like
Yeah.
Astlibra. No, it's
Yes.
just Astlibra revision, which is overwhelmingly positive on Steam. By the way, I am so looking forward to play this one day soon. It actually just released a DLC called Gaiden, The Cave of Phantom Mist. Now, this DLC will feature a brand new female protagonist and about 20 plus hours of adventure with randomly generated dungeons in sort of like roguelike style gameplay. So, if you are a fan of the game or you've heard about this game, you're a little on the fence, but you really like roguelike, and maybe check this game out and check out the DLC. There's a reason why this game is overwhelmingly positive, and I can't wait to like dive in and see what this game's about myself. So here it is. The DLC is immediately available. It actually dropped like last week, I think, while we were out. So yeah, that's the update to our past releases.
All right. Well, then we're going to move on to some of the upcoming releases that already came up.
Woo! Not that many, but woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this one makes me very happy.
Mhm.
Just a reminder, if you have not picked up Cold Steel 3 and 4 yet,
3 and
and
4.
if you have a PlayStation 5, this would probably be a really good time to pick up Cold Steel 3 and 4, because it just came out 3 days ago on the 16th. So the
Mhm.
bundle will be available at most retailers, and the limited edition is still available at the Nisa store.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have one over on my
Surprising.
table. I got one over there.
Wait.
I haven't opened it.
Oh, the limited edition?
It's I think so, because
Fancy.
it's in the
Did you pay
cardboard box.
close to $100 for it? Because if you did, then yes, that's the limited edition. You can't see anything.
I can't turn my camera because it's
You-
connected to a thing. But
Your
it's
thing, your
a-
hand just cuts off.
I'll just
We still can't see it. Mhm. Okay. Oh, you really haven't opened it. You haven't opened the box to the box.
correct. I'm very excited to open this up. It was sent to me by NISA.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I don't know what version it is, but I think it's like in a big old box. So
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
it's probably not just a case and a disc. Like there might be more to it.
It's something. A lot of packing material. No, I'm just kidding. It's gotta be more substantial. When are you gonna do the unpacking though?
When I have cameras on me, I can
Good.
do it right now. You guys want to do a live unboxing?
You
No.
could do it right now.
Or-
He's like,
Yeah, and Nisa was like, "Yeah, we want to send you something. Maybe you can make a video of unboxing." We're like, "Oh yeah, sure, I could do that," and then just do it on the HitPoint podcast. Just open it up.
Yeah, and then send
I
them
don't
like
think
a
that's what
clip of it.
Probably not what they meant.
Yeah, no, absolutely not what they meant. Okay, well, next up we've got this pretty interesting game that I had recently discovered. And so it is an 8-bit side-scrolling action platformer, a mouthful, from developer Squidbit Works, called Lords of Exile. Very edgy. It was released while we were away last week on the 14th, so Valentine's Day. You will play as Gabriel, a cursed knight who must travel through the land of Exilia in order to bring hope.
That Exilia? Which Exilia?
No, the other one is Zilia. This is Exilia with an E in front of it. Yeah. Unrelated.
Is it? Oh, is it like Exilia? Like Exile? Is it Exilia?
Exilia.
Lords of okay.
Exile. Yeah. Okay. You get it.
Yeah.
In order to bring hope and vanquish the darkness. Let's take a look at the trailer and see why I'm like feeling like this is a super edgy like game.
Okay, let's see what you're feeling here. Man.
Just take a look. Just take a look. Yeah, this is like kind of like a what's it called? Like the back in like 90s like arcade kind of like 8-bit like
It looks
fighting.
a little Castlevania.
Castlevania, yeah, but it's
Old
not
school.
like but it's just you know okay, so like you don't traverse like back and forth in the area. It's relatively linear, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like the old school arcade games. So like it's got this crazy edgelord vibe that was so
'cause there's, like,
popular
blood
back in
and
the
stuff?
90s. Oh, definitely. All kinds of bloods.
All kinds of blood splashes.
Exilia! Yeah, like demon samurai knights and I don't know.
You know what? The fact that they didn't like say that it's like a Souls game or something, that makes me happy. The Dark Souls of 8-bit gaming.
So I think they were really trying to capture like the 90s or maybe even like the late 80s aesthetics with the 8-bit
Oh yeah, they've
and
captured
all
it.
all the fire. This fire, the fire animation was like such a thing back then. You look at a lot of
yeah.
old games from that area, like that's like a effect that they love to use to bring more drama to the game.
Oh yeah, and it works.
So
I'm
yeah,
hyped. I'm hyped and pumped. I am piped.
so this game actually looks pretty good. I do have some side news for anyone who are into the VTuber scene. And us, we had done a poll in the past. Quite a few of you actually enjoy the VTubers. Remember that, Derek? We did like a small poll, like who actually watches stuff.
Oh
And
yes,
like, yeah, we actually had
and
quite a few people who were like, "Oh yeah, I totally do." So, and this is interesting, and I think is notable. So, a VTuber by the name of Inugami Korone, and you've heard of her before, is because she did this whole like Sonic collab. She's like a huge Sonic fan.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
she
yeah.
had like an official like Sonic Sega collab, like this whole thing. I think she voiced someone in a Sonic movie in Japanese or something. Anyways, look, the point is she reviewed recently that she had secretly backed this game when it was in Kickstarter 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And in fact, she had paid for the boss designer reward tier, which was 1,400 euro. So she's putting money where her mouth is. Like, and
Okay.
yeah, and she's just now tell people, oh, by the way, I backed this game. And so she actually helped design one of the bosses in there in this game, and she's asking fans to try to figure out which boss she had created. Hint, it's a tiny boss, she said. So I think that's gonna be extra fun for the fans to try to figure. Yeah, she likes playing like old school, like Super Nintendo games.
Oh,
Like she's
sick.
like known for it. So yeah, pretty cool of her. This game is immediately available on PS5, PS4, PS5, and PC via Steam. So please check that out.
Radical. All right.
Radical. Oh my god, I've not heard that used in so long.
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've said radical recently.
Have you?
Somewhat.
Are you bringing it back?
I've been bringing it back for years, man.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this hair isn't just 90s style for ain't no reason, right? I'm bringing it back. We're bringing back the 90s, everybody. Come on, let's go. It's going to be great. We're going to play Grandia, and we're going to use CRT televisions. But before that, developer Team Digital Mind has announced their physics-based sumo wrestling game that might be cat themed called Nyaaaanvy.
Nyaaaanvy. Yeah.
Leaving
Nyan.
it's going to be leaving early access via Steam. I don't know what the game is about, so let's just take a look at the trailer and maybe it'll do a better job of explaining things than I am.
Yes.
Let's see what this is all about. Because
Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what the game's about even after watching the trailer.
Nyaaaanvy.
Nyaanvy. This trailer is like half cat videos and half gameplay,
Yeah.
which I'm
and
not
I'm fine
mad
with
at.
that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this.
So y'all remember that, this is an anime news show, a JRPG news show, and a niche news show.
Here's the niche.
Yeah, we found the niche. Thank you, Baku. I
mean, we like to bring your attention to weird games that are coming out because we have a lot of JRPGs and we don't always get JRPG news, but then we have stuff like this, and I'm just like, you need to know that this is a thing that exists in this world.
I am now aware that this exists.
This
And-
is a thing.
And I think my life has improved at least a little bit as a direct result of your inclusion of this. So
Yeah. So this is definitely a multiplayer, you know, physics-based game, if you will.
Yeah.
That eliminate like fun party game. I think. Very cute.
Yeah. you know, so I gotta say, Baku, cats off to you for bringing this one to my attention.
You're welcome. How'd you like the cat videos?
They were the highlight of my day.
They were the highlight of my day as well.
But it was a work day, so it was a low bar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, cool stuff. But yeah,
I just want to start
you-
watching YouTube, like old school YouTube videos together. Let's just like start watching like Nyango Star and just
Yo, listen. So recently, there's this meme that's like popping all over YouTube, and it's just, I think it's this old cat meme. It's like Chippy Chippy Chappa, and it's just like it's everywhere. And it's just like Japan had just like recently discovered a meme and has like a resurgence of like all the videos. And
Aw,
yeah, I'll send it to you later.
okay,
I'll
cool.
send it to
Yeah.
you later.
Well,
Yeah.
just watch some memes together.
Yes,
Okay.
let's watch the memes together. Okay, you ready to move on to the next one?
I mean, I'm hesitant to move on from where we are, but okay.
We can watch cat videos later. But first, Nitro Plus has just announced that they will be releasing a new 3D action game called Doll's Nest.
What?
Yeah.
What's that?
Player will explore the world of Hold. That's HOD. Hopefully not a typo. It is a world that is filled with broken machines and building ruins. Exploration and customization will be essential to surviving this post-apocalyptic landscape. Another post-apocalyptic something.
You know,
Take a look at this.
I'm okay with watching post-apocalyptic things. It prepares me for the future.
人形人形ゆりかごの時は終わりあなたはこれから生まれる奪われた
That must have
私の
hurt.
体
What must have hurt?
もが
It
れ
looks like
Oh,
there's a
this-
spear
oh,
sticking
this-
through the eyeball.
Yes.
えぐられ
Yeah,
た
that couldn't have been
私の
comfortable.
瞳
Yeah.
その一
It was
切
a
を
fast
繰り返
death,
すため
hopefully.
に私はあなたを産
You
む
would hope.
さあ戦う準備ができたら目覚めなさい
Okay. Okay. This. Just call
it's
it
got
Armored
a little
Girl.
bit of
It's
got a
Armored Core.
little it's Mecha Girl Armored Core with like a near kind of like
Setting.
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Near aesthetics, but not near gameplay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the other thing that we saw, like Stellar Blade, I think Stellar Blade was like near a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like near
Just like the setting.
world view. It's very
Presentation.
near-esque. Yeah, presentation. Yeah, but it's definitely like
Slightly-
Mecha Girl Armor Core.
Slightly chibi, it looks like.
Yeah.
You know? Like, not quite chibi. What's that? Is there like an in-between?
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a name for it, but yeah, you're right. It's a Armor Core-esque gameplay. Feels like. I don't know. Just by the look of it.
Yeah.
But once you play it might be different, you know?
That's pretty cool.
Doll's Nest, yeah. It looks pretty cool. It's near shut up.
Yeah. It's near adjacent to near. So
but-
that's pretty cool.
yeah, so that's thank you for the pun. That's being released sometime in 2024 on PC via Steam with Japanese and English language support.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Let's keep an eye on that one. Because it looks like Armored Core. And I hope that it's a pun when they get it released in the West. Like Armored. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, here's the one that I mean, honestly, Falcom gets me excited no matter what. But this is the other one that I'm excited to talk about today.
The other one.
The other one. We've known for a while now that this game was coming, but now NISA has finally given us some concrete news about the Western release of Ys XIII Nordics. And that news is Ys coming! Ys coming to the West!
Yay!
See, that's another pun. There you go. 2 of them.
Yay!
It's a twofer. This is the 10th.
Should be the 11th.
I was gonna say. I feel like we skipped one here. Yeah, this is the 11th main installment in the mainline series, and chronologically, the events of Nordics happen about 2 months after Ys II, featuring a young 17-year-old Adol who is on his way to Celceta.
Yes.
Oh,
Pretty cool. Yeah. So, I mean, I think everyone. Okay, let me take it back. Maybe not everyone, but for those who may not know, Ys game release order are not chronological. They're chronological, or like the chronology of Adol's adventure kind of like bounced all over the place.
yeah.
So
It's kind of like the chronology of well, I was gonna say Zelda.
Zelda's a whole different
Because they're
beast.
also
Let's
not released in order. But yeah, you're right. Because they're not numbered.
Yeah.
This is weird. This
Yeah.
Ys is a strange
It's a
beast.
strange beast. Yeah. So Ys IX has, I think, the oldest version of Adol so far in the series. I think like in his 30s even.
I don't know. He's
think.
practically dead. You
Yes,
know.
he's
In anime years,
in
he's like
anime years
30s.
he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 9 is the oldest. But now in Ys 10, it goes like Ys 1 and 2 is the earliest, and then should be Celceta right afterwards, which is the 4th game. But now it's like slotting 10 in between the two.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's counting, this latest game will happen basically right after the first 2 games. 2
Yeah.
months to be exact.
So, let's watch the trailer.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is, I think, the last trailer. Oh, I gotta crank the music.
God, it looks so freaking good. Yo, Falcom is
I can't hear you over my music.
Ooh,
What?
it's looking good. What? It looks good.
Ah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, I'll turn the
Yeah,
music
this is a
down now.
limited edition
Okay.
buy for me. I love the Ys series. Sorry for all the Trails fans. I am definitely Ys first and Trails second person when it comes to Falcom. I am on the other side of Falcom. Hello. Yes.
There is
Ys
no
has-
wrong side of Falcom to be
There
on, my
is no
friend.
wrong side.
Let me tell you, dude, that music, oh my God, Falcom always gets my heart pumping. Whenever I hear their trailers and I hear the music, the only one that I've played so far is Ys VIII, and I need to fix that.
Really?
Yeah, I need to
never
fix it.
play any Ys games.
I said 8. 8?
I mean, no, any other Ys games.
That's one.
I'm shaking my head at
Okay,
you.
okay,
Derek.
I
Even
played-
I
I-
played more than one
Hey, hold on,
Trails game.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I have also played at least 3 minutes of Othin Felgana.
Hey guys, you guys know what to do, right? Start the
You want-
shaming campaign on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X.
I'm doing one Trails Falcom thing at a time, guys. You start me on Falcom, I'm never going back to Trails. You see what happens? You see? I can only play one thing at a time.
You know what else we can shame him on? Ys, at least the older games, are way shorter than any Trails title, like by a lot. Start the shame campaign.
I
Start the
mean,
shame
you know what?
campaign.
I just finished Cold Steel 4, and I'm pretty sure I was budging right up against the 200-hour mark with that playthrough. It doesn't take a whole lot of short games to like be shorter than a Trails game at this point. Let me tell you, it was
Yeah,
a lot, and I
I
loved
feel
every
like
minute. But oh my
Mhm.
god, it's
I
done.
feel like older Ys games is like maybe like a 30-hour to 50-hour max
Mhm.
endeavor. You could have finished like 5 of them in one of your Trails playthrough.
I could have finished the whole East series in the time it took to play Cold Steel 4, man. Are you kidding?
Abs no, only because the newer games are longer. So like 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 are like
I already did. I already
a lot
did.
longer. Yeah. But you could have definitely finished the entire East game, every single one of them ever released, and not even finished like 2 Cold Steel games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get there. Man, it's just I feel like I should just have you guys vote on what my priority is, because I at this point I don't even know. Like, should I revive my playthroughs and reviews of Dragon Quest? I stopped at
Mm.
5.
Mhm.
See, that sounds really tempting, right? I also
Mhm.
have Lufia 2 is up next on my docket because I've never played Lufia 2 before. But maybe I should play Ys. What do you think?
I
Baku?
don't know.
Do you
Um
Everybody who thinks Baku shouldn't be telling me to play Ys so I can focus on these other things, go shame him on Twitter for trying to shame me on Twitter.
a reaction to a reaction to a reaction.
We must
Um,
go deeper.
I will say, I think if you want a change in pace because you want to get away from turn based and just play a little bit of action, Ys is a good like mix up.
Yeah,
You know?
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It
Mhm.
might happen during my retirement, but it will happen. Just kidding. I'm not gonna retire. Uh,
We're millennials. We don't get to retire.
So-
Pension. What is
so-
that?
Sorry, I keep getting dark. Why does this happen to me? Ys XIII. Ys XIII is slated for fall of 2024, coming out on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the PC, the Steam, Epic's Game Store, the GOG, and also Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is coming to
Bizarre.
Switch. Yeah, so it's gonna be like on everything on PC.
Yeah.
And the PC version will support Japanese text, which is probably pretty good for anybody who's out there trying to learn, the Nihongo ga, the Japanese
You want
language.
to learn the moon runes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you feel like leveling up your weeb level to the next.
Get on my level, guys. Get on that weeb level. Let's go.
Nobody can be on that level, weeb sauce. I'm sorry, buddy.
Juicy. Yeah. Yeah.
So that about covers it for all of the things that was going to be in our game announcements.
Mhm.
But guys, that was the short part of the show, I think, because
Yeah.
we got some stuff to
Uh,
talk about.
We got some stuff to talk about. Yeah, so typically our shows consist more of like game previews or game announcements and such. Not show with tonight. Tonight we've got a lot of industry news. Starting off, Kadokawa Corporation acquire. That's right. Acquire, the developer acquired, that is. Best known for Octopath Traveler, Class of Heroes, the Keeper Strip. And amongst us, let's be honest, probably you heard of them from Octopath Traveler, right? Yeah, Square Enix might be the IP owner, but you know who developed the game? Acquire. And they are now a wholly subsidiary of Kadokawa, meaning they didn't just buy like parts of it. Like they bought the whole thing. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of Kadokawa now. And if you've heard about Kadokawa, it's because we've talked about Kadokawa before.
Also because they're
Um,
just huge. They're a media
yeah,
conglomerate.
if you think Square Enix is big, you haven't seen Kadokawa. Kadokawa is huge.
Kadokawa
Probably
is like
one.
the Viacom of Japan.
They're one of the biggest media company in all of Japan and maybe even the world. So they also own Spike Chunsoft, which you may know from the Danganronpa games,
Mhm.
and more recently the Rain Detective. I keep forgetting what the Rain Code,
Oh, yeah.
that detective game. And also from software, which I don't think we need any introduction to them. And Kadokawa just buying up developers left and right. And we expect to see this trend continue, to be very honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, it's late stage in the world right now, and all the corporations are hungry hippos, just buying up all the things.
Yes. Now for anyone who is kind of worried about like this kind of acquisition and stuff, I have some good news, some bad news for you. Okay, because a lot of people are kind of like, oh, is this going to be like an EA situation where they just like buy up these companies and then just like they have like bad game, they have bad communication, and then they just like dump the company and then just like whatever, just move on to like acquiring the next thing and then subsequently disbanding it.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be the case.
Okay.
Kadokawa is pretty good about the acquisition from what I've witnessed. And they tend to be pretty hands off with the company's operation. Now, if I
Good.
have to draw a parallel, so is anyone familiar with Warren Buffett? You
Yeah.
guys know who Warren Buffett is? Yeah,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of the
yeah.
richest guy. Yeah. Well, he owns a company. I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's called was it Berkshire?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had to
holding.
say
Yeah,
Berkshire out loud, but I think it's
yeah,
Berkshire.
something to
Yeah.
that effect, right?
Yeah.
It's a holding company,
Mhm.
kind of like Kadokawa. They own a lot of different things, but they don't really direct the business of their subsidiaries. There's a term for that, like where holding companies simply owns like the company, but don't really intervene with the day-to-day operations or even really the strategic movement of it, unless
Mhm.
something really goes awry. This seems to be the case for Kadokawa and the media companies that they have acquired. They're simply owners. And of course, they have financial gain. But what's interesting, and this is on a related news, is
Mhm.
that
They also provide
Ben
funding. I think that's the other
they provide a lot of funding.
that's the other
Yeah.
side of the equation, but go ahead.
On related news, Bandai Namco has relinquished the Elden Ring IP to FromSoftware. So FromSoftware actually owns Elden Ring now.
Mhm.
The arrangement, typical arrangement, is that the publisher owns the IP and developer worked on the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bandai Namco owns Elden Ring, the IP, just like how Square Enix owns Octopath Traveler, the IP. Well, it seems like the IP has been relinquished, or should we say sold, to From Software. And you know where From Software would get this much money to buy this highly successful IP to own it?
From Kadokawa?
Um, Possibly. We won't know, right? But we could certainly speculate that when you've got a giant conglomerate backing you financially, you are able to make these kind of purchases that
Oh,
you
wasn't
otherwise wouldn't
Sony
be able to.
I feel like was Sony at one point thinking of buying From Software?
I don't know. I think
Maybe
people just talked
not.
about it. They're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Sony should totally do it." And
I think you're right. That was probably something that came up after like Microsoft bought a bunch of people, and then everyone's
mhm,
like, Sony should buy Square Enix.
buy
Sony should
this and buy
buy that.
that.
It's like, no, don't encourage them.
Yeah. So, now what's kind of cool is that
Yeah.
Kadokawa, because they're a media conglomerate, there's a lot of like horizontals that they can explore, like
Oh,
releasing
yes.
like I'm just gonna give you an example, like releasing Elden Ring lore books, releasing Elden Ring figures, like they have different
Hmm.
branches that can utilize these thing and do like a cross like company sort of effort.
Elden
That
Ring the
yeah,
anime. Elden
possible.
Ring the flamethrower.
Possible.
The kids love that one.
Yeah, they have like a film company, they have an anime branch, they have figures, they have toys, they have books, they have all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
The interesting part of this is which is could acquire potentially one day buy IPs from Square Enix. Hmm. We never really see that before because Square Enix has a lot of money,
Hmm.
but now that Kadokawa's in the mix,
They
maybe.
got more money.
Oh, they got way more money.
I mean,
There's
why
so much money.
why would Kadokawa buy Octopath Traveler when they could just buy the Square Enix?
Okay, I don't know if they're big enough to like just swallow Square Enix, but they can certainly
Right.
buy IPs from them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
And Square Enix could probably
Use a
stand
little bit of
to,
money.
yeah. They made some bad trades.
Yeah. So interesting stuff, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
that's industry news number one. Moving on,
Yeah. To number 2,
number two.
Silent Hill 2, to be precise. The latest trailer apparently does not reflect the spirit of the game, according to Bloober team president. Is that how you say Bloober?
Bloober, yeah,
Bloober.
Bloober.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the president throwing some shade at Konami. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name of the Bloober team president. You could probably Google it. Throwing some shade at Konami, stating that the recent Silent Hill 2 trailer does not reflect the spirit of the game that they are developing. In an interview with the Polish news channel,
I
is
think
this why you gave this one to me?
it's actually just pronounced Peter.
You think that's just
Oh
Peter?
yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So Peter Babino, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the Polish news channel is
Um, the Polish news channel is
investories.tv.
Investory.
Investories.tv. Okay.
Yes. I love it. Go on, Derek.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Go on.
The video interview has since been taken offline, but not before it was spotted and transcribed by Eurogamer of Poland.
Yes.
So yeah, Bloober team says that the trailer's not. That's not our game.
Yeah. So for context, recently Silent Hill 2 had a trailer. I think it was on it was on the PlayStation whatever showcase that they did.
Yeah,
Remember? Yeah, they
yeah.
did like a
State of
showcase.
play.
Yeah, State of Play, that's right. They did the State of Play and then they show Silent Hill 2 and then everyone is like, "Oh, that does not look like Silent Hill. Oh my god, they're trying so hard to be like Resident Evil, da da da." So the fans' reaction understandably has not been uh great because Silent Hill is a distinctively different game than Resident Evil, like
Mhm.
play style and atmosphere,
Yeah,
everything is
it's more
different.
like psychological, right?
Right, compared to like zombie horror, right?
You're right.
So you can't just like bash your way through everything.
So the guy's like,
Kill everything.
"What? That's not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
That's totally not our game, guys. I don't know where did they even get that footage from?"
Yes. And
Come
and
on,
then
Konami, quit joshing around.
exactly. So for anyone who does not know, Bloober Team, they are famous for Layers of Fear, which is a really well-known game, and of course they've been selected to develop the newest Silent Hill. So that's why he's kind of throwing shades at Konami. They're like, yeah,
Mhm.
listen, we're not in charge of advertising. This is all Konami. This is not the game. This does not represent the game that we're developing right now. I'm like, yikes, Konami. Like, ooh, man.
Speaking of Konami, anybody know what's going on with Suikoden 1 and 2? Still haven't heard word of that. Anyways, sorry,
Yeah.
that's way off subject, but yeah, we're
But
still we're
yeah,
still trying to wait for something good to come from Konami here. They
still
keep
waiting.
making promises, but we'll
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, I mean, Silent Hill 2 and Suikoden would be a nice first step back to try to re-engage the gamer fan base and not the pachinko fan base, you know? Like,
Yeah,
come
but
on.
post pandemic though, they're starting to probably make a little bit more money on their patchy slot machines, and it's just they're reconsidering how important this whole gaming thing. It's just a fad, isn't it? Who actually play?
Yeah,
Cut,
NFT's the future.
I know. It's literally the meme of like the boyfriend who's like looking over his shoulder, you
Ooh.
know. It's
You know,
it's Konami looking at patchy slot machines again.
I still like the fact that Konami was able to make um money off of NFT, and Square Enix throwing in way more resources probably wouldn't see a single freaking penny in
Uh-huh.
that return is the funniest thing to me. It's just I can't get over that.
Yeah, that is still really, really funny.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting that the interview's been taken down though since it went up there. Um, I'm guessing
Y-
somebody wasn't very happy with that shade that they were on the receiving end of,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, maybe don't bite the hand that's feeding you. I don't know. Like they're
Yeah.
paying you to make a thing, and then you're like, yeah, I don't know. It could potentially be like illegal too, depending on how they have strike up like contracts. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, just
Well,
I don't
let's just
know.
say Konami sent him a sternly worded message that says, "Hey, do you want to be making Death Stranding 3?"
I don't want to say illegal. Yeah, it could be potentially against the contracts, depending on the
Sure. Yeah,
terms.
it might
But
have been in breach of
mm,
whatever,
a
but
breach of contract,
but
yeah,
it's all
it's
just
like
conjecture at this point. Nobody knows.
yeah.
But yeah, let's just say Konami was probably threatening
Konami
the
was not
Kojima
happy.
treatment. Mhm.
The Kojima treatment. Do you not want to? Do you not want to show up to award shows? Do you
Mhm.
not want to accept the awards?
Hey, the
Yeah.
way you're talking about us, our marketing team, is all wrong. Your tone, it's all wrong. You.
It'd be a shame if we were to give you the Kojima treatment.
Mhm.
All
How, how
right.
much how much do you like making games with little weird fetuses? Huh? Just sizing you up for your potential future.
Oh boy. I mean, listen, if I
I'm
if
just
I get to
kidding.
be successful like Kojima, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
You ever wonder if
Anyway,
Kojima was just like, I'm just gonna throw something way out there just to see what
mhm.
happens?
Yeah, and then people like eating it up.
He's like, okay, fine.
All right, I guess that's my life now. All right. On the next piece of news, Japanese video game marketing company News Office will be hosting their year's first Indie Live Expo event of 2024. And this is going to happen sometime in May. The Actually May 24th to be exact. The broadcast will feature indies from around the world, which is really cool, and it will be streamed in English, Japanese, and Chinese. So we're really looking forward to seeing this and seeing all the different wonderful indies that are coming out. Because as
Yeah.
you guys know, we love indies. We do. The developers, the games themselves, the community around indies, just like we're just like fully embracing it. It used to be like a much smaller part of my game consumption. It's grown significantly.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, as I just become the solution with the same C's that like big companies are just like
The safe
releasing.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty, but they are just kind of the same old all the freaking time. Um,
Yeah.
Whereas the indie space, they're just
Pushing
really
boundaries and
pushing boundaries. Yeah.
yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yep. So, now this is the important part for some of you because we know that we have game developers who are watching the show right now. If you would like to submit your game, you can now submit your game to News Office until March 11th. and registration is free for up to 1 title per organization.
Hmm.
So if you want to send in like 3 games, of course you got to pay a little something. But if you're just sending 1 game, like that's free. So if you're like an indie dev and you just want to kind of get the words out there and about your game, this could be an opportunity, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, we can't give you the link, but just look up Deuce Office,
Yeah.
and look up what is it called, the Indie Live Expo 2024. That should be enough keywords for you to find their website and find the submission form. So
Yeah.
best of luck to you all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame we don't know any indie developers who watch HitPoint.
Yeah, none,
Oh.
none, no, none
Well.
of you are indie developers. Wink. None of you. Wink.
All right. I have a little bit of a warning here, everybody, because
Mhm.
it's time for us to talk about some things that are unconfirmed. We are now entering the rumor mill zone. Yeah, how was that? I worked on that intro for like 10 seconds, guys. Give
10
myself
seconds well spent.
you were here for all 10 of them. So, yeah. So we got a little bit of rumor mill news, but it's very likely confirmed. Okay. That Shin Megami Tensei 5 may be getting some special treatment here around the corner, because a screenshot of Korea's Game Rating Administration may have potentially accidentally leaked the existence of an enhanced version of Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, according to an article by Gematsu. They have posted screenshots that have been taken from the site. I don't speak Korean, but apparently this little listing here indicates some pretty interesting things. Rumors have apparently been circulating about this edition since last year, like June of 2023. But this is the first time something really concrete has come of any of that, and confirming the suspicions for many. So according to that screenshot, the ratings indicate that the new version will include improvements and additional content. It could be anything. But
Could
I'm
be anything.
Just think of it as this is the royal treatment, the golden treatment, the vengeance treatment of Persona 5.
Vive.
Yes. Persona, or did I say Persona 5? Of
You said
Shin
Persona.
Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. Yeah. I'm gonna get roasted for that, I'm sure. But whatever.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I deserve every minute of it.
They're clipping you out of context right now.
How they are shaming me on Twitter. They are at the gates
With the pitchforks.
and the
Yeah.
regular forks.
So I think the most exciting things for a couple of people, I can think of one particular invalid who would be super excited for this, is that
I can't wait for it to come out on Switch too.
yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry, Super Nintendo Switch. My brain is just everywhere.
yes. So the interesting prospect of this is the fact that it would be out of Switch and stop being a Switch exclusive, of course. And I think a lot of people who SMT fans who don't really care for the Switch would be happy to be able to play it on PC, for example, or maybe on their Steam Deck and maybe on their PlayStation, just anywhere but like the Switch, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it comes with that with like improved graphics because there's only so much the Switch can do. On the other hand,
What?
yeah,
There's only
what?
I don't
Only
know
so
about
much.
I don't know about that, man. I'm pretty sure that there's no
it can
limit.
compete with the best of them. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Switch, better graphics than a 4090. Am I right? Yeah.
I mean, it's got more games than a 4090.
This is true.
How many games can your 4090 run by itself?
Actually, you know what? Actually, no. Actually,
By
now that
itself,
I think about it,
not really.
by itself, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that 4090, that's like 10 times the price of a Switch. Come on, guys. Like the no-brainer. You should get the Switch. But yeah, okay. So I I've been teasing at Mr. Invalid here, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna laugh so hard. It's SMT5 Vengeance. It's like gonna be
Yes.
announced along with like the
Nintendo
Super
Direct.
Nintendo Switch. Yeah, and it's
And then
gonna
we
be a
get it in
launch
10
title,
years.
and it's still exclusive to Nintendo. It will laugh so hard.
No. There's no way it's going to be a launch title. This thing's going to be announced and then it's going to be silenced for 10 years again. You want to play Shin Megami Tensei 5? You do it on your Steam Deck like everybody else.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for the SMT5 fans if this is true. You know, because we are in the rumor mill territory. So
Well,
if all of this is true, it
Yeah.
certainly would be exciting prospect.
yeah, it's still unconfirmed, but I mean, how far-fetched, like, how much crack would their ratings board have to be smoking to have accidentally published something that just didn't exist at all?
Mm, I mean, I think drugs illegal in Korea. Like,
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah, so very
in Korea.
unlikely. Well,
Yeah.
point well made.
Yes. All right. So we jumped ahead just a little bit by talking about the Nintendo Direct because wouldn't you know it, there's a Nintendo Direct.
Hey, that's when they're going to announce the
Hey,
Super Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo.
And
And SMT5 engines, is that it?
I think so. You know,
Well,
it'll be a launch title for the Super Nintendo Switch 2.
someone on Twitter posted, and this is true. Someone on Twitter posted this rumor, okay? Rumor, guys, okay? That at some point in 2024, that Nintendo will do a Nintendo Direct. That was the rumor. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
confirmed.
confirmed, I guess. I don't know. Like, yay. At some point, you will breathe in the next hour.
I think, you know what? That's pretty fun.
Prove me wrong. And some point in 2024, Nintendo will have a Nintendo Direct. And I'm like,
What a
well, that's quite
devious leaker. Devious.
Quite the insight you've got there, leaker. Yes. So
I have a prediction for you, Baku.
Okay, do tell.
Yeah, tomorrow
Mhm.
you're gonna wake up and do a bunch of stuff, and then go back to sleep.
I could prove you wrong, but that would mean
It means sleeping a whole lot, huh? Okay.
or just unaliving. I don't know.
Don't.
What if I never wake up? Like, I don't like the implication of this.
Just to spite me.
Or sleep 25 hours.
Yeah.
Wake
that's
up
what I
on
was saying.
Wednesday. Ha! You were wrong. I woke up on Wednesday.
Well,
well.
so much for trying to quote a Weird Al song, but that's fine. So
Nintendo Direct on the 21st, 6 a.m. Pacific time, which means 3 a.m. Eastern time. And so for any of our streamer friends out there who might be watching this and you want to do like a reaction stream, yeah, good luck, you know, especially in the East Coast.
I ain't waking up that
3
early.
a.m. Eastern time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's painful even. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Let me take it back. 9 a.m. Okay, it's not that bad. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m.
Still.
I flipped the conversion.
Yeah.
6 a.m. It's still early as heck, but you could do it. Yeah, you could do it.
So,
Just treat it like it's a job.
Right as I was gonna say, right as I get to work at 8 a.m., if I could start watching 25 minutes of Nintendo.
Yeah, 25 minutes of information focused on Switch games coming in the first half of 2024 is, according to Nintendo, the intention of this Nintendo Direct. So expect 25 minutes just nonstop like game reveals, right? For the first half of 2024. I'm very excited. I think we'll probably see more Peach showtime, obviously, because that's probably one of their like bigger in-house game, like Nintendo first party games that they're wanting to push. More power to them. We'll see what else, what pleasant surprise we find. We'll find out on the 21st.
I suppose we shall.
Yes.
All right. Well, the fun and games are over, folks. Well, Yeah, I got some bad news. You might have already heard about it. It was announced on Valentine's Day that we unfortunately had to say goodbye to a legend very recently. Um, According to Rabbit and Bear Studio, Yoshitaka Murayama, the scenario writer of Eiyuden Chronicle, the creator of Suikoden as a series back when he worked at Suikoden, and the creative director behind them up until he departed from Konami, unfortunately passed away due to complications with an ongoing illness. According to Rabbit and Bear Studios, he passed on the 6th of February. Um, but they did say, for anybody who is concerned about the work that he was doing on the upcoming and much anticipated Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, his work as scenario writer had uh, been completed. That said, it and I said this around the time of the news breaking as well. It just felt so much to me like he had so much left to do. The the enthusiasm that he had for creating living, breathing worlds, for uniting people for a cause, um, that he reflected in his Kickstarter campaign, as well as in the games that he produced, um, was really admirable. You know, the way that he brought people together, and even his fans, the way he brought them together, uniting under a a single game and in a love for just incredible gameplay and experiences. Um, you know, we're unfortunately losing somebody who was really fantastic. And it felt like they had so much left ahead of them. So, you know, at this time, I would just encourage everybody to just make sure that you are doing everything that you can to do the things that you love. Um, and I am really excited for the fact, or happy for the fact that he got to work on this project of his for Rabbit and Bear Studios on his own
Mm.
terms and kind of reprising that really incredible role that he was doing with the Suikoden games and kind of reclaiming his place um, as a creative lead there. The fact that he was able to do that before passing on just is really great. Um, and I just wish that he would be able to have seen the fans' reaction when this game came out. Um, you know, it's really just really tragic that's the case. But he was able to leave us with a parting gift, and that is Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. And I'm really excited to see what we get. And I think it's going to be really good. So look forward to that. But yeah, tomorrow is a gift, everybody. So make sure you use it.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't gonna day one Eiyuden Chronicle. That changes. I'm gonna day one it. I'm gonna play the game. We're gonna celebrate it. Um, and it's gonna be fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, like as a fan, like that's the best thing you can do is to celebrate their work and celebrate their life, right? So we will do just that, right? When Aiden Chronicle drops, we're gonna hop right to it.
Yeah.
We'll make the most out of it, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Heck
I
yeah.
can already see it. Like if I
I'm
wasn't
sure.
hyped to play it before, like you better bet your bottom dollars that that hype has not died down, not a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually kind of glad that like because a writer can only do so much on their own, right? Like a game is comprised of so many different elements: the music, the character design, the
Yeah.
actual gameplay. Like the thing for me is not only was he able to leave this parting gift, but that this like package was done with so many amazing talents.
Oh yeah.
Like this thing is so polished that Square Enix is green with envy. Never mind Konami. I'm sorry, it's so hard for the jokes write themselves with Konami. Um, that you know, and especially for a small studio and sort of like their first like entry into all this. Granted, they have a lot of veteran help and support and leading the way. I'm just glad that this last work that he was able to put in um is supported by talents who are just as talented in their respective field
and
to
not
create
just
this. Yeah.
yeah, and
and,
not
and
just
not just
talents.
him. Yeah, because
It's it's
I'll
the
I'll
fact
be
that
honest.
these were clearly friends of his as well. Like
True.
Junko
Yeah.
Kawano, people that he
Mhm.
chose to
Yeah.
approach. That just makes me
Yeah.
so happy for them
Yeah.
that was something they were able to do. But go ahead.
I've seen like these like veteran creators, like a lot of these smaller companies maybe will use their name, be like, oh yeah, this person worked on this, you know what I mean, like just kind of like it's a marketing thing,
Hmm.
or like this happens all the time with with Don, I forgot his name,
Yasunori Mitsuda.
no,
Does
the
happen a lot, but yeah.
yeah, the other guy, the music guy, crap, the Final Fantasy music guy,
Yeah.
he gets thrown
Sugiyama?
in all the time, yeah, and
Is
they're
that
just
right?
like, oh yeah, no, not him, but you know what I mean, like they would use these like musicians, like, oh yeah, he worked on the composition, he did like 5 songs, right? It's not like, but so I'm glad like his last work isn't a thing that he just did so that like they
Yeah.
can use him as like a marketing thing, is kind of what I'm
It was
talking about.
his baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is his baby. This is representative. This could very well be his like, what is it? Like a like Magnus Opum? Is that Opus?
Magnum
Magnus.
Opus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean it's certainly shaping up to be that way. So that's why I'm extremely excited to
Yeah.
play. And all of you should.
Yeah. Well, guys, that about covers it for the news. And I'm sorry that it had to end on kind of a little bit of a downer, but we do have one super chat that we received from Eagle Knight who says, I'm not mad that you haven't played any other Ys besides 8. I'm just disappointed.
Yes.
And
shaming him.
I am become shame.
Let's keep singing them.
All
Thank
right,
you, Eagle
guys.
Knight.
Have a good rest of your night, everybody.